Hey, Mountainside, as I always say, but I truly mean it, I hope your week is going well. It's Tuesday, and if it hasn't been, necessarily a great start, well, just know there's plenty of time to get things turned around, even if it's just an attitude alone. I think that's what God would expect of us. The world around us is watching us, and it's basically our choice for the most part as to what they see. And may we go out and see everyone that we come into contact with. May we see them as our neighbor, and if possible, that we're gonna make their day a better day. After all, we have Jesus Christ, and that reality can make the difference if we just have the faith to trust Him as we go out into life every day. One would have to have been in a cave this last week to not know the turmoil that our country is experiencing. Something happened this past Wednesday night in our Bible class that I think was a God thing. I was introducing a new study, and I had planned the study before the events of last Wednesday took place, as well as the thoughts that I had as far as introducing this particular study. And then as the events of last Wednesday unfolded, it simply affirmed to me the absolute importance of what I wanted to share with the class. You see, as a believer, we can see the world and should see the world from a different perspective. To a degree, we should see the world through God's eyes far more than we look at it through our own. There's a tremendous amount of evil out there, and it's more prevalent than ever in my life. And church, I have the answer. I have the answer. It's not complicated. And believers, so do you. Jesus Christ is the answer to the ills of this nation. You see, more than ever, you and I need to be the hands and feet of Jesus in this world. We must love our God with everything we have, but never forget to love our neighbor as well. And by the way, politics is not the answer. Having said that, I recognize it can certainly be a tool. Church, money's not the answer. Man, our blessed country, and we're so blessed, even in the midst of some of the ugliness, but we throw money at everything. And look at how many of our problems just seem to still be there, or maybe they're even getting worse. But I also realize that money is very necessary in many circumstances. It too can be a valuable tool. And I could go on, but I think you get the point. The answer to the ills of this country is absolutely Jesus Christ, and it's our responsibility to make sure that the world gets the chance to come to know Jesus Christ. More than ever, we need to know what we believe. We need to know why we believe what we believe. And I hope and pray that none of us are ashamed of what we believe, because we have the truth, absolute truth. We have the knowledge and blessing of the one who can change the hearts and minds of anyone. Anyone. The Word of God is life-changing, but we forget just how important it is also. It's an extremely accurate historical document. We have nothing to be ashamed of. The battle before us, though, it is certainly formidable, but I believe it's also winnable. And not because you and I are superheroes. No, because we are in Jesus Christ. The battle before us is not against this person or that person. It's not against this party or that party. The battle, I remind us, the battle is against Satan and his army of influencers, instigators, liars, the like. The true battle goes far beyond the flesh and blood of this world. The Apostle Paul said it far better than I ever could. And let's just go ahead and read his inspired words, Ephesians chapter 6, 10 through 20. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything to stand. Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Pray also for me, that whenever I speak, words may be given me so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly as I should. Well, of course, sermons are preached all the time about this text. But I just want to close with just these thoughts. Church, we have been given a huge responsibility. We are to take the gospel to this world and at the same time not allow ourselves to be consumed by this very same world. But praise our God. He's equipped us to do this. He's equipped us for anything and everything. We have a very impressive arsenal to take into battle. And as you go out this week, remember who you are. Remember whose you are as you engage in this spiritual battle, this spiritual combat. And may we never hesitate to use anything and everything that's available to us from our God. You can sure bet the world will use all that it has to take as many of us down as it possibly can. But church, we are blessed. We have been surrounded our entire lives, both in the past and in the present, by a great cloud of witnesses who serve as tremendous examples to us as to how we are to live in this crazy world. And oh, may we become the same for one another as we encourage one another to stay faithful to the good news of Jesus Christ. And through it all, as he closed here, may we never forget our most powerful tool, and that is our prayer. We need to be in prayer for one another, in prayer for ourselves, in prayer for our nation, in prayer for our leaders. There's never a time where there's too much prayer. And do so fervently, do so very specifically, but pray. Hey, thank you for tuning in this evening, and have a blessed rest of the week.